Hello, hello. Okay, so I think the audio is working. Hello, 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 hello. So, okay, guys, welcome to the 71st edition of the Trading Opportunities webinar. This is Nirav again, and give me a few moments here. Yes, so do not forget to say hi or hello in the chat if you are live. And of course, let's proceed with the regular stuff here. First of all, the legal disclaimer here on screen now. Suggesting all content presented here is purely for educational purposes. I'm not soliciting buy or sell. If you do want to use the views presented for your trading, investing, or for any other purpose, you yourselves will be liable for your profit, loss, or loss of profit. With that out of the way, now let's proceed with a very quick what do you call introduction. So, guys, my name is Nirav, and I'm the admin and owner of 50 Eyes Market Analysis, which is the website where I've been producing my views on markets for last few years. Most notably, the whole forecasts, videos, and webinars which I've done are documented here. And since 2016, as you can see over here, our track record has stood higher than 80%, beating all industry standards. Right, and you can of course check all of this yourselves. These are the links for the videos and the analysis and what happened afterwards, etc., etc. And lastly, coming to the actual webinar, this is the 71st iteration of the Trading Opportunities webinar, and we will be going over the charts of Euro USD, Crude, Gold, S&P Nifty, and BTC in the respective sequence. And lastly, in the last 69 webinars, we have captured 92 big moves. If you want to see all these analysis and moves discussed live, that is in live market conditions, which is like right now as I'm speaking, then you can join in on Fridays at 2 p.m. GMT, 7:30 IST, and just convert it to whatever other time zone you may be in. Right. With that out of the way, now let's proceed with our actual content. And yeah, guys, important thing. Lastly, we are also running the services as of now. We'll be soon out of beta. If you want to join in, you can always use the contact us page. I'll discuss more about it in the webinar. So first of all, say not crude oil. Let's head over to Euro USD first. So first of all, let's quickly have a discussion on Euro USD, which is moving as expected, I would say. Last time when we discussed it, our view was that this market is seemingly in a downward movement for wave E, right? Let me just quickly point out the date so that it's easier to talk about what we discussed. Yes, so 30th of June. So somewhere in 30th of June, the view was that this was a zigzag. This was the 30th of June somewhere. So this was a zigzag and A, B up and C down. So there were two ideas I discussed. One was that this A, B, C is complete. Second idea was that this B is still continuing sideways and it will continue sideways within this box range. Wherever it gets completed, let's say it's going like this. Wherever it gets completed, it will then lead to one more down leg for wave C, right? So the second scenario or the wave B under continuation is what played out, and basis of that, on that, I was able to capture part of this leg down. I actually traded till the very last point here, right? And let's now look. By the way, these trades which I'm discussing, this leg down which I traded, all of them were posted live in our Slack group. Perhaps it would be better if I just give you a quick glance of that. So here are the trades which I posted. Stop loss was it? Yeah, so this was a trade where the stop loss was hit. I was trying to capture a minor move. After that, the idea was to add more on pullback, and then I closed the second position which I was talking about. There it is. This is the leg I captured. So this one is where the stop loss got hit, and this one after pullback I decided to enter again because the idea was that this was a wave B under continuation. So, anywho's the point being that we are posting all of these things live in our group. Just wanted to give you a quick glance. Now, getting back to the analysis on hand, what we have over here is A down, B up, and then C down. Now, again, the same situation remains. It is unclear if the B is here, that is, B is already complete, or if the B is continuing. If the B is continuing, then there is still room for one more down move, which we can represent like this. If, however, the B was complete, let's say here, then this will be your C leg already complete. We don't have currently evidence for that. What I'll do is I'll place an alert around 1.096. So if we see a movement above that, it stands to reason that perhaps this is the new upward movement instead of a continuation for sideways B. So that's about that. Nothing really special here. Yeah, one quick point I have is that it will be a much more clearer or simpler trade if we see this down move first before deciding to enter longs, because wave B can theoretically just go above this target, this alert line, and then reverse as well for C down. So this one will be a little bit tricky trade, and this one will be simpler if we see the downward movement first, then followed by the upward movement. But in either case, I have alerts placed at important levels so that whichever way it decides to go, I will be able to capture it. That's about it for EURUSD. Let's now head over to crude oil, which seems to be having some clarity of its own. So discussing it from a shorter time frame perspective on the 15-minute chart, this is our point of reference around the price level of 66.94. And what I seem to be having over here is, let me check one thing again. Yes. So what I seem to be having over here is a possible diagonal complete. Yes. Just give me a moment here, guys. So I'm back here. So we were discussing crude oil here, and let's just see it from the shorter time frame perspective. As I was saying, it looks like we have completed a diagonal here around 72.25 something, and afterwards it looks like we have a wave B in progression. Now I don't think that the wave B is complete over here. Generally, wave Bs are known to consume a lot of time. So if it is continuing sideways, and this is how I believe it may proceed. Of course, it can take some other route as well, but this is the likely route which I think it may proceed. So basically, may take some resistance around 73, then reverse, and then go up. And I'm assuming it as a simple flat kind of correction. Right. So basis on that, I'll be looking for long trades here and there in this counter. More specifically, if it takes a resistance here, I might even go for a counter trend short-term sell-off. But this is the main likely theme which I think is playing out in crude oil. Lastly, considering the low probability scenario or the less likely scenario, if we assume that this was the A or 1 complete here and this is the B or 2 complete here, then it may just go straight up for the C or 3. So that is not the highest likely scenario right now, but yes, we cannot avoid it. It does stand to reason and it is possible. So that's about it for crude oil. Now let's head over to gold. So gold, where were we last week? Since then, it has given us some very nice and clear trades, which we will look at. But let's see where were we last week. So there we were, 30th June. Somewhere here we were when we discussed this thing live last time. So the analysis was very clear and simple. I said very specifically that if we see a break above this green trend line, then we will be interested in long trades. And as you can see, the market has been taking resistance at this green trend line for quite some time. It has not sustained properly till now above it. But most importantly, this movement, we were able to capture parts of it as this market was heading higher. Of course, in our private Slack group, that is. So again, quickly, here are the multiple trades that we have been having. Booked profits. As you can see, we were tracking this diagonal up or the move inside the diagonal up. 1920 to 19 whatever the target was, 1924.6. Quick scalps there, and then again blah blah blah. You get the point. So we have been tracking and trading all of this in live markets. I just wanted to point this out in case you wanted to become a part of it. You can always send your inquiries via our contact us page. Currently, the group is only via request. The details are only given via request. We are not open for click and pay by anyone. So yes, getting back to our discussion on gold. Now what it looks like is that we have at least a three-way progression. Now let me just quickly clarify what that is. Three-way progression in the sense that A up, a B down, and then a C up. So we have already completed the A up. we seemingly have completed the B down over here, and this perhaps is the C in the upper direction. Now, if that is the case, then bare minimum we expect the market to go higher than 1934.97. Let's just say 1935, and that will be considered the completion of the whole or the minimalistic upward movement, not the whole of anything. Now, second thing I think might be happening over here is that the B is not complete here, but instead it is going sideways as a flat, steps like this, and once this flat is complete here, then we will see the upward movement for the ABC zigzag. Let's say circle degree A, circle degree B, and then the circle degree C. Now it is still not an issue because in both these cases we are expecting that the market will go above 1935 first, but just that the progression will be a little bit different. So long story short, gold we will be looking, or I will be looking personally for long trades, mostly from a swing perspective, and intraday wise maybe some shorts here and there, but mostly I'll be focused on looking out for upside moves or upside trades. So that's about it for our discussion of gold. I don't think there is much to add here. Yeah, one more thing. Even if it goes to 1933, it would have established above the green trend line. So again, that will be our second sign of strength. And if it is going to go as a flat, like A of a flat, the B of a flat, and C of a flat, then perhaps it might come back to the resistance or take support above the green trend line. So that will be a very nice thing, because in that case I can take bigger positions because it will be a high probability scenario. But that's left on time to see. That's about it for our discussion of gold. Let's now head over to S&P, which will be followed by Nifty, which will be followed by Bitcoin. So S&P is not necessarily moving as we were thinking it would, because basically our idea last time was that more upside is incoming. Basis that we were thinking this was the 3 complete, this was the 4 complete, and then this was what you call a 5 incoming, which had at least one leg up remaining, which I recall from our last analysis. However, the market has taken extremely, or not taken, has shown extremely good sell off at the resistance level 44, 50, 60 something, or between 50, 60, let's say. And what I can see here is the possibility that we may still be in the wave 5, but the possibility is a little bit reduced. But if we are in the wave 5, then we can think of the structure as a nested 1-to-1-to impulse in the other direction. So basically what I'm saying is that if this is the 4 over here, then this is a 1, 2, and then this is a dot 1, that is a lower degree 1, lower degree 2. It should be followed by a lower degree 3 in the other direction. Now all of this tends to reason and is possible as long as this market remains above the price level of 4375.5, basically this. And why is that? Because wave 2 can never go lower than the start of wave 1. So that stands to reason that 4375.5 should hold. In case it does not, then this becomes a possible A, B, and C for a flat for wave 4. However, I do not think that it's a flat, because it has already consumed like 4 or 5 times the time of wave 2. So generally wave 2 and 4 have a sort of odd relationship. Generally wave 4 you will see will consume 2 times, 3 times the time taken for wave 2 to form. So in this case it has already surpassed that level, And even if it's still continuing, then I do not think it's a wave 4, then I think it's something else. So long story short, as long as we are holding above 4375.5, bullish possibility exists. If we go below 4375.5, then it's a sign of weakness. And it's also a sign that something is wrong with the bigger picture of our account, and we need to take a second look at it or reanalyze the whole chart or situation. So that's about it for our discussion on S&P's 500. This one I think will be a little bit complex and will need to be analyzed multiple times within the intraday sequences. Anywho, let's head over to our discussion on Nifty. So Nifty, when we discussed last time, it was, let's see where it was. Somewhere here. Here it was. And the idea was that this market is still heading higher. It had some impulse remaining to the upside, and it has done that. Later on in the group, our update was that as soon as it goes below the orange trend line, I'll be looking for selling this market. Actually, I'll just show you the update from the Slack group on Nifty. So this is our Slack group update on Nifty. This is the chart. Let me show the commentary. We'll look for shorts below orange trend line for wave 4 posted yesterday. And this is the price around 19486 roughly. And this is exactly what happened. The market next day, which is today, went below the trend line and then has sustained. Actually, this is the arrow. I haven't even touched this one, this chart. It was drawn and it is followed precisely. So again, in case you are wondering, we are having the Slack group open right now for those of you who are clear on the basics. They can become a member and look for benefits. But we are not open in the sense that anyone can come in. You will have to request details by heading over to our website 50is.com/contact us. And that's the way to proceed with that. Coming back to our analysis on Nifty, what we have right now is, as already mentioned, wave 4. I already have the targets is plotted out. This is a 23.6 at 19,315, and this is 19,248 for 38.2, right? So since we already have those levels, either the wave 4 will stop or has already stopped around 23.6. Well, if it does proceed, then we can always look at the second target. I'll show just extend it actually, and the first one as well. Yes, so this is the way we will think of things right now. And lastly, if it's going up, then I'll be interested in longs or looking for longs above. Where is that alert which I just placed? There it is, 19,415. So now we have the downside reversal levels, and we have the upside level for looking for upside moves or longs. And this is the general expected progression. Let's say it goes to 38.2, then this is how we will expect this market to proceed further. That pretty much covers Nifty here. I don't think there is much to add on this. So now let's head over to our last chart, which will be BTC. BTC has been a little bit confusing. This is the second time that I had longs on it and I just closed them because it just isn't moving like I wanted it to. So now let's see what it really is doing, right? First of all, let me just show you the count on the Forex, let's say. So what we have right here is that we have an impulse which started from around the level of 15,512, and then we have the impulse completed around 3976, roughly speaking. Now this impulse is then followed by a corrective leg down, which is a very clear sideways choppy overlapping structure. So once this correction is complete, I was expecting, or I was under the impression that it will go up for a smaller degree one. Let's say if this was circle degree one, circle degree two, then this will be going up for dot one, followed by maybe a dot two, and then a dot three up. But it has remained sideways and sideways. Neither has it gone down properly for a two, neither has it gone up, saying that the two is small, which is quite common. If the impulse is really strong, then it will just take some resistance around the upside level or near the upside range, and then it will just fly high. So that is a very common practice, but it has not yet happened. So let me just go back there. So it has not yet happened. Now it gives rise to multiple possibilities. First one is that why do we even assume that the circle 2 is here? Perhaps the circle 2 is just continuing as a flat. That will stand to reason because it is seeing good resistance over here as well, right? And now that is the reason why I exited my longs the second time. If it really is a flat, then I don't really want to be holding this thing from 30,300 to whatever it comes down to, which looks like 25,400 something something. Now that's a pretty big move, I would say. So again, the possibility of upside still exists. This still does look like two complete here, and this still does look like the lower degree one and lower degree two, but it still just doesn't seem to be performing. So I exited. I will look to re-enter longs if it takes out the high 31,568, but this time I'll be holding much smaller positions because it just has been a little bit unclear for me. Overall, BTC, nothing much to add. We wait for clear long setups. I've already discussed in detail what the setups are, the downward pullback expectations, right? Nothing to add from here. If you guys want to join me live, we go every Friday live at 2 p.m. GMT. And if you want to get the intermediate updates, which are a lot of trades that we capture, trade recaps, and other members' benefits, then you can request details for the Slack group, as I mentioned already, by visiting 50is.com/contact us, which is our website, and filling in the form for the details. That's about it, guys. And thanks for joining in. Do not forget to hit the like and share the content. And I'll see you in the next one.